As a past life regressionist, one of the things that just boggles my mind, well, it doesn't boggle my mind, but I just find so very interesting is, first of all, people think that, they go see past life regressionists just to see their past life. Yeah, we do that too, and that's good. That's what we want to do. But there's always a point where like the regression or the session takes like a slightly different turn. Always. Like I've never had a session. I've been doing this for a year and a half now. I don't think I've ever had a session where we went in there and we saw the past life. We saw, we went to source, spirit guides, maybe the Akashic records, and nothing weird or wild happened. And I tell my clients all the time, these are things, when you meet with me, I'll say, okay, you'll tell me what you want to see, what you want to do, what you're hoping to get out the session. Really, that's what I want to know. So we spend about 30 minutes talking about you, your life, what you've been thinking about, what your goals are, what you've been wondering, what you want to do. I do all that because when we get to the spiritual realm, I want to know what is important to you. So I want to be able to ask the right questions. I want to be able to take you to the right places. So it's all tailored to you. So of course, people go into it wanting to see a past life, like what made them the way they are, or what, sometimes it's just like, I just want to know, like the fun stuff, like, was I alien? Was I mermaid? Was I, this or that? So we do that, but there's always like something that takes like this odd turn, which is hilarious to me. For example, like, okay, I'll take them to the past life. And then the intent is always to witness the death of that life. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes your guides come in and just take you away, and now we're doing something else spiritually that you need to do, some kind of spiritual work. But for most of it, we do get to see the death. So we see the death of that life. And I do that specifically because once you see that you're living this other life, and then you see the death of it, and then you see where you go afterwards, my hope is that it removes the mystique from death and dying, and it gives us a better understanding, because as humans, we are so afraid of death and dying. So I want to lift that veil and give you, that experience. So we go through the dying process of that life. And then I'm like, okay, you are going, where do you go now? Where does your spirit go after death? And I'll just say that once the young lady, she was like, I'm in a boardroom. And I'm like, boardroom? You end up like, at your spiritual place, your spiritual healing. A lot of you have jobs that you actually return to in the spiritual world. But she's going, I'm in a boardroom. And I'm going, what's going on in this boardroom? And then she says, well, there's other people here with me. And she starts giggling, and she's like, oh, we're building my life. We're building my next life. That was my first time I've heard about building a life. And I'm like, well, what does that mean, building a life? And she says, everyone here they're building their life, and we're all working to build our lives. Like, who's going to do what? When are we going to meet? What purpose are we going to serve in our life? And it started off, she said, with, I want to say 4 or 5 people in the boardroom. And then she says, as it goes on, as you continue to build this life, I think she ended up with maybe 20 people, 18 to 20 people in the room. And she was giggling, and she was like, some of these are my pets. Like, I see my pets as people in the room. In this current life she was living, they were her pets. But beyond, they're actually part of her soul family. And so I thought that was very interesting. I'm like, well, how do you build a life? What do you do? How do you put together a life? And she described it almost like a play, like people coming together to build this elaborate play. And she said that it was very hard, time consuming, and it took a lot of work to build a life. So she said they would all work to build this life, not just hers, but theirs, and how they connect. So I hope you guys understand that. And she said then they would rest, and then they would come back to the table, and they would, resume building their lives. And so what I found interesting was she said that not everyone at the table were her soulmates, or part of her soul family. She said that, because I was asking her how did it grow, like from 4 to 18, 20, what was that process? And she said that the core was 4, 5 including her, but they would let other souls in. But she said that it wasn't just letting them in. She says the group had to decide if, what they needed and if they would let another soul join, for what purpose. So that was interesting. So I'm saying that to say, when you are moving through life and you are experiencing things and you are meeting people. I was talking to my daughter the other day, because I'm at this point now where spiritually, when I look at myself spiritually, I see kind of threads coming off of me in all different directions. I don't know where they go. There's threads, but I know it to mean that those are the people, the threads to the people or things, whatever, that I'm attached to in this lifetime, that I am touched. I don't know if that's the right word, with in this lifetime. And so I was saying to my daughter, it's funny, I'm moving through life, and if I have a small conversation with someone at work, and to me it may be insignificant, but to the person, I may not even see them ever again, but to them, that conversation, that 30-minute conversation, was a catalyst for them to go out and do something else. I was meant to come and have this 30-minute conversation. I was supposed to. It was built into the program. It was built into the play that I have this 30-minute conversation with them. Then they go off and it triggers them to do something else, the next step that they're supposed to do in their life. And that's interesting. So just think about that. You walking through life, you don't know who you're supposed to touch. You don't know who you're supposed to trigger. It's just going to happen. You can't plan for it because you don't know to plan for it. I really don't know where I'm going with this. I just felt compelled to just speak on this. And I'm getting now that it's going to be, there's going to be a follow-up, but I'm not sure when that follow-up is. But I digress. So happy Monday, and move through life like you built it. Because you did. Your soul and your soul family had a discussion before your life even started of how your life was going to be, the things that you were going to do, the greatness that you were going to have. So if you know that you are meant to do something else, you are meant to experience something else, it's because you are. You've seen it, you've built it. And just that anxiety that you are feeling, I have to tell myself that all the time, that anxiety that you're feeling, or this drive that you're feeling, this pressure really to do something else, to seek something else, it's because you already know what you're supposed to be doing. And you are anxiously about to do it. I hope that makes sense.